Greetings, YouTube. You know what time it is. It's your main man, Mora Duke, coming at you with some of that hot vlog action. Hey guys, just wanted to make a quick video about things that have been keeping me busy here since I'm still working on a Mantra 5's video, and I'm playing Mantra 6 up on my original Xbox up there. So yeah, wanted to share my thoughts on a few games I've been playing. Of course, this is Battlefield 4. Haven't been playing this one as much recently. I've kind of went on a little hiatus from it. I'm actually might start playing it again this week. Start playing through the single-player campaign, because I only beat the single-player campaign once, and there's 3 total multiplayer weapons you can get. I only got one of them. And if you watched my last video when I talked about Battlefield 4 for the Xbox One here, I thought the campaign, even though it was a lot more stable than Battlefield 3 on the 360, it was more sterile as well. You know, it was kind of boring. It was kind of, you know, cliched, predictable, all those fun things. You know, everything the Call of Duty quote-unquote campaign has become nowadays. Yeah, with this game, pretty much everything I've said about this game still stands. Like I just said, the single player was kind of boring. The multiplayer, I know a lot of people have been having problems with the multiplayer. The only personal problems I've had with the multiplayer is there was a while there for maybe 2 or 3 weeks where I was getting this horrible rubber banding issue. And if you're not familiar with what rubber banding is, it's when you're playing along on a server, you're, you know, frolicking through the tall grass with your gun, you're having good times, you know, skipping to the sunshine and whatnot. And then all of a sudden you start running in place, and then all of a sudden you're over here. Doesn't make too well for a shooter or pretty much any fucking game where you have to have control at all, so any degree of control. So but that has since alleviated since DICE has patched this game not once but twice this month in March here. And the last few times I've played it, I'm happy to say that there has been no rubber banding issues, so hopefully it was just a netcode issue. But yeah, this game's still fun. It's still way better than Call of Duty. I mean, I'm not even you know, Call of Duty's garbage. I think I've made that point several times on my channel, but I'll never stop saying it because people still play it for some fucking reason. I don't know why. But yeah, I still don't have premium for Battlefield 4. I know I wanted to play the single player to get the achievements as well as the multiplayer weapons, and there's achievements up for the DLC packs that are out. Of course, I have China Rising. That's only because I pre-ordered it with the system. But there's no way I'm getting premium until they fix up this game more and they offer a discount on premium as well. Because I can't stomach, after paying $60 for this game and even getting one of the DLC packs with the game, paying another $50 for premium. Like, they still have a ways to go with this game. And we all know why this game has so many problems in the first place, is that's because EA, money-grubbing bastards that they are, forced DICE to release this game ahead of Call of Duty Ghosts to compete against it. That's the whole fucking reason this game was rushed and, you know, released prematurely. Excuse me. That's pretty much the main reason. And DICE is, you know, they're making good on their promise. The poor guys are scrambling. They're really trying to fix things in their own DICE way. And, you know, that means that if anyone that's played the Battlefield series has been keeping up with it since the beginning, since 1942, they know, you know, DICE has a unique way of patching their games, put it that way. There's like fun little glitches. There's weird balance issues with some things. It's a Battlefield thing. You know, you have to play the game for a while. You have to be with the series to understand it. But veterans of the series know exactly what I'm talking about. But Yeah, that really pisses me off when video game publishers push out this game just to make a few extra dollars. And what happened? DICE suffered for it. The gaming community who loves Battlefield suffered for it, and the franchise as a whole suffered for it. Now there's this like blemish on this series. Not that it was perfect before, but I just fucking hate when video game publishers do that. So but what are you gonna do? So yeah, Battlefield's fun. Still play it once in a while. Still good times. Still, way fucking better than Call of Duty Ghosts. That game is fucking garbage. But this game hasn't been keeping me as busy as the next game I'm going to talk about. And on one more note, the free Xbox Live multiplayer video that I made, that's been patched. It lasted a month. It was fun while it lasted. I'm not going to complain, because now I won't be tempted to play I won't be able to log on to Battlefield 4 for free when my live gold subscription lapses. So, yeah, they patched that on March 10th when it was like the patch getting ready for Naval Strike that I believe is out now. And then they patched the game again the other day. So a lot, lots of the patch notes look good. A lot of things are getting fixed that they should. So pretty cool. So yeah, I'll definitely still be playing this, but I haven't been playing this as much as this game. Yeah, Titanfall. This game is fucking awesome. If I had to, for someone that's been living under a rock for the past 3 weeks and they don't know what Titanfall is, the easiest way I can explain it in one sentence is this is what Call of Duty would be if Call of Duty didn't suck 1,000 bags of dicks. That's the easiest way I can explain it. This game is awesome. I've been playing this quite a bit. I actually played a few matches last night. I was up till 4 a.m, so I just woke up a little while ago. So if I'm a little slow, I apologize. But yeah, everything. If you fucking play this game, you will never play Call of Duty ever again. That's legit. Everything in this game is better. Everything. The maps are better. The weapons are better. Did I mention you have this giant fucking mech that you can call down at any time, and you don't have to go in it, and you can set it on a autopilot to either follow you around or guard an objective or anything? Call of Duty doesn't have that. Kill streaks. No, this game has burn cards that you can use 3 burn cards per match anytime you want. Well, not anytime you want. When you die and respawn, you get to pull up the burn card menu. But the burn cards are way better fucking kill streaks than the actual kill streaks in Call of Duty. It's fantastic. The things I like the most about Titanfall, and I'll talk about my thoughts on this for a few minutes, is like I said, the game is very well balanced. The thing I love the most about it, though, is the netcode. Is actually good, and it's not wet dog shit like the Call of Duty series has been. Because when someone shoots you in Titanfall, you actually have a chance to retaliate. You actually get hit markers. Everything's actually fair. In Call of Duty, if anyone's ever played Call of Duty, you know what I'm talking about when, someone runs around the corner and gives you a strong glare, and your guy sees the other guy staring at him and he fucking falls over dead and has a heart attack. When that happens about 200 times, you want to put your fucking controller through the wall and throw your fucking console out the window. I know I did, let's see. With Titanfall, like I said, lost my train of thought. The netcode's great. There's not a single bad map in this game. There's 15 or so maps in total in this game. Not one of them is bad. There's less weapons in this game than Call of Duty, but they work so much better. They're a lot more balanced. It's not a game where you're going to find 75 fucking guns in it because, well, hey, guns, hey bro, I heard you like guns, so I put more guns in your gun game, you know what I mean? And, you know how it is with Call of Duty, we've all done it where you're reading on message boards, you're talking to friends, word of mouth. You get to find out which guns, like the one or two guns in the game that are overpowered over everything else, and everyone else uses them anyway, so you have to use them as well to keep the playing field fair, and you just use those. Here, depending on what game mode you use, I find myself mixing things up all the time. It's kind of like Call of Duty, where you can customize your pilot's abilities. That's this guy right here. You can customize your Titan's abilities, and you can also prestige. It's called genning up, or you're a generation. There's 10 prestiges, in other words. So you're like a generation 3 pilot or a generation 9 pilot. It goes all the way up to level 50, generation 10. So every 50 levels you can, recharge your pilot to the next generation. And the cool thing about that is not only do you get an experience bonus with every time you increase a generation with your pilot, or every time you prestige, whatever, same thing. I'll just call it prestige because that's what everyone's familiar with. But with every prestige, there's certain challenges you have to meet with certain weapons. Like you have to kill people that are in midair, or you have to get kills with certain weapons, or you have to do certain things. And I like that because it keeps the game fresh and it mixes things up a little bit. So that's cool. What else can I say about this game? The campaign in this is pretty neat. Something you don't see a lot. There was a game released a few years ago, maybe even older, I'm not sure, called Brink, that Bethesda made, that tanked pretty quickly because they had a really shitty release. That its campaign was centered around multiplayer matches, and that's pretty much what this is. There's a campaign in it, but the campaign is like actual multiplayer matches that have like snippets of audio and video in them, and there's kind of like a loose story around here. The story is definitely the weakest part, but since everything else in this game is so awesome, I kind of give the story a pass a little bit. And basically what it is you can get this and read the digital manual that's available with this game. It's like a blurb of 3 paragraphs of text that try to explain the story. So, that alone, it's not going to be exactly cohesive or anything like that. There's 2 factions. There's the IMC and the militia. The IMC are basically like this large corporation that go around the frontier, which is basically Titanfall's universe. And they go and plunder minerals and shit from planets and stuff like that. And then there's the militia, which is, of course, the ragtag group of citizens who are fed up with the IMC pushing them around and, I guess, excavating people out of their homes due to this mineral searching and digging up and whatever. And they're fighting back against the IMC. That's pretty much it. Other things I wanted to talk about with this game are going back to the Titans. They're fun. You'd think getting in a giant mech would make you unstoppable, and it doesn't. And this goes back again to the balance issues with this game. It's just really well balanced. You can tell this game was a labor of love. Like everything from the weapon balance to the map design to the way your abilities work. Like it was really, really well thought out. And I'm not kidding when I say this is the spiritual successor to Modern Warfare 2, which I think was the last good Call of Duty that came out of Infinity Ward. And there's a reason for that, because after Modern Warfare 2 was released, that's when Activision and Infinity Ward got into that huge court battle where Activision, or I believe Infinity Ward, sued Activision because they were withholding profits from everything they made from Call of Duty. And the founders of Infinity Ward actually ended up leaving the company. So the Infinity Ward today is like a shadow of what it used to be. But one of the co-founders of Infinity Ward now formed Respawn Entertainment, Vince Zampella. And now he's taken that talent and made this. So this is the true spiritual successor to all the Call of Duties that were good. Let's be honest here. Black Ops was all right, but Treyarch made that. And pretty much everything after that has been recycled shit. It's like the older Call of Duties, but it's been done before. Like pretty much every Call of Duty that's come out after Modern Warfare 2 is a watered down version of Call of Duty 4. like why bother? I mean, if I'm going to play a shitty imitation of a game, I'll just go play the good game again. You know what I mean? But this is on a whole other level. This game's great. Another cool thing you can do is, like I mentioned before, you can set your pilot on auto mode, or your Titan on auto mode, and run around as your pilot, which is what I do most of the time. And you can actually, with the wall running and the parkour elements, which are another fun thing I forgot to mention, there's a pilot ability called Stim, which gives you a speed boost and regenerates your health a little faster after you're shot for about 10 seconds or so. And you can jump along buildings, you can run on walls, you can double jump. Your guy has a jetpack on him. And if you combine all these abilities together, you almost reach Unreal Tournament and Quake 3 speeds, which, if you're not familiar with those, they were the popular PC multiplayer shooters from the late 90s. People affectionately refer to them today as Twitch-based arena-type shooters. It almost reaches speeds of that. And there's no other games that do that. And it's such a breath of fresh air when you finally play this. Definitely play this. Like, find a friend, steal it. I don't care. Just play this. Well, not steal it, but anyway, don't want to encourage that. But yeah, where was I? The movement speed is great. Two of the things... Oh, going back to the Titans. I go on tangents if you haven't noticed. I'm sure you have, but the rodeo element. If you get to a high vantage point with a pilot, you can actually jump on top. You can jump on top of friendly Titans and ride on their shoulder. It gets you to objectives faster and stuff like that. Since the Titans move... They can cover more ground faster, but they're kind of slow. They're kind of lumbering. And on top of every pilot having an anti-Titan weapon to quickly take down Titans, you can also jump on top of enemy Titans, and you can rip the panel off of the top of their Titan, and you can shoot the wiring on the insides, which completely bypasses the Titan shield and brings them down faster. This is what's called a rodeo, if you've ever had people talk about that. It's total fun shit. And you can tell, like, the more you do the rodeo element, you can tell when the pilot has to get out and, try to shoot you off of their back, which is one of the only effective ways you can, someone can get you off of their Titan. And it's fun. Like I said, you can tell when they get out. And you can jump off before they realize I'm there. So it's like this cool, like, cat and mouse dynamic. Like, no other game does that. Like, it's so much fun. So much fun. Like I said, none of this shit is in Call of Duty. Stop playing Call of Duty. Call of Duty is... If it wasn't dead before, it's definitely... Like, this is the final fucking nail in the coffin in Call of Duty. Like, I don't even know why anyone would fucking play it anymore. Other than, people who can only win matches by quick scoping and pissing other people off. But, I mean, even that gets old after a while. Happy to say there's no quick scoping in this game, too. That's always a fucking plus. But the other two elements, the last two elements I wanted to talk about was two of my biggest concerns before buying this game, the 6 versus 6 player limit, and the AI that's running around the maps. I'm sure you've heard of those. Both of these aren't a problem. Let me explain. The AI, at first I was like, well, why don't you just pare down the AI or strip it out altogether and allow more human players to play? Make it 8 versus 8 matches or 10 versus 10, whatever. They actually work out really well. The map size their maps are a little bit bigger than the ones in Call of Duty. They're much more well-designed. I can't stress that enough. Because, like, you'll be in the middle of a map, and there's always a way, like, say you're playing Hardpoint Domination, which is probably my favorite mode in this game. To reach, say, a domination hardpoint is in, like, the 3rd floor of a building. Normally in Call of Duty you would have to go, normally run up the stairs and everything. In this game, like, if a zip line's attached to the building, you can jump up on the zip line and ride the zip line down through a window. You can double jump through a window. You can run along the wall of the building across the street, jump over to the building that has the hard point in it, jump on the roof, and jump and climb down through the roof to get to the domination point. So there's usually like at least 3 or 4 ways to get to a domination point, which keeps the game fair and keeps the opponents on their toes. With this, like I said, the map size is fair because it's 6 versus 6. So imagine if eight of those players had Titans. So you got 8 giant fucking robots running around. You've got pilots on rooftops with their anti-Titan weapon, like shooting rockets at these Titans. And on top of it all, you've got like these 6 or 7 squadrons of AI opponents running around, barking orders, giving the game a little flavor, which is what they do. I mean, there's 2 classes of AI opponents. There's grunts and specters. Grunts are like your cannon fodder guys, and specters are a little tougher. They're robots that can take a little bit more of a beating, and you can actually run up to specters. Every pilot also has this data knife. Like, you can stick into specters and you can hack them with your data knife. And if there's similar looking specters around, if there's a little posse of specters, they automatically get hacked and they follow you around. They're like your little soldiers. It's so cool. You can also use your data knife in some maps. There's gun turrets that you can hack and work to your advantage, but watch out because the enemy can hack those turrets and have the turret work for them as well. So many dynamics going on. It's so amazing, so addicting, so great. Get this fucking game. But yeah, with the AI, it's pretty cool. They make the battles feel more alive because they have lines of dialogue. Like, they'll see you running along, and one of the grunts will say, like, "Oh, what's with those pilots? What makes them so amazing?" And the other guy will go, "Oh, just watch. They're amazing at what they do," and just stuff like that. You'll see grunts carry other grunts to safety inside of buildings when they're hurt. You'll see specters, like, they can actually jump up on buildings and jump up to the second floor. So if you think you're safe on the second floor or rooftop from the AI opponents, like, think again. All the AI opponents have rocket launchers, so they can actually damage Titans. It's wonderful. So the player count, due to the map size and the ferocity of the battles that's going on, that's not an issue at all. That was my biggest issue. It's not an issue at all. This game, unlike Battlefield 4, also had a very good launch. The only problems, I haven't had any stability problems at all. That's a surprise. Anyway, salty as fuck over EA. Well, not really, but I had this weird issue a few times where the game would like lag out, and 30 seconds later it would go into like a sound loop crash, and that's exactly what it sounds like if you've ever experienced that, where it would keep making the same sound over and over and over again, and my screen would be frozen, and like a minute after that, the game would just crash to the home screen. I only experienced that. I put at least 15 hours into this game, and I've only experienced that maybe 2 or 3 times, so I haven't experienced it recently, so I'll chalk that up to, first week jitters or something like that. That we unfortunately have to put up with games more often nowadays. Another thing with the campaign I forgot to mention too was it's really well done. I wish it did something like that with Battlefield, because I'm sick of like the Call of Duty Michael Bay-esque, over the top explosions everywhere, slow-mo action sequences, crosses and double crosses and oorah, and it's been done to death, really. I wish this game had a campaign like this game does. And if I didn't mention it before, the campaign is over 9 stages for each faction. So if they're fighting in the same stages, obviously, and depending on which faction you fight for, you'll get different orders. You'll see a slightly different side of the story. One thing that kind of sucks, though, is no matter if you win matches or lose matches, the story kind of carries on anyway. So you're kind of just going through the campaign no matter what happens. But if I strongly advise beating the campaign because, well, one, it's still early in the game's life cycle. And I'm afraid that, since the game is more geared towards multiplayer matches, people will play multiplayer more, and the campaign's going to slowly die out because the campaign, like I said, it takes place with actual multiplayer matches. You're not playing with bots, you're playing with actual people. Well, other than the AI squadrons, but you know what I mean. But it gives like little snippets of audio and video, gives it a little more flavor. There's like little cutscenes at the end of each match that take place with like audio recordings, and there'll be a little video popping up in the corner of your screen and stuff. It's cool, but I'm just concerned that if people get the Titans from campaign mode, they won't play campaign mode as much. But it's a great idea, I'll give them that. So that's Titanfall. Get it, love it, experience it. It's awesome.